Donovan Mitchell has to be scoring at his best if the Cavaliers want to win games. This season, Mitchell is statistically having a down year compared to his years in the past, and this is the lowest point per game average he's had since his rookie season in the league, where he finds himself 4 points below last year's mark. However, most of his percentages have been in the same ballpark for majority of his career, but the difference is that this season he isn't taking as many shots, which we could say is working because the Cavaliers are having their best season since their 66 wins in the 2008-09 season, but we know that if Mitchell isn't playing well, then the Cavaliers have a hard time winning games, which would seem obvious considering that Mitchell is the leading scorer for the Cavs this season. But when you think about the fact that the team had 3 All-Stars, and Mitchell is actually ranked 4th on the team in terms of win shares this season, you would think that whenever he's having an off night, the Cavs could still pick up the win, but that's not the case. If you take the Thunder for example, OKC is 4-1 whenever their leading scorer Shea shoots 30% or worse this season, while the Cavaliers are 2-4 whenever Mitchell shoots under 30%, which leads us to wonder if the Cavaliers need Mitchell to score at his best in order to win games. In the 14 losses the Cavs have this season as a whole, they have been some of the worst performances by Mitchell individually. In those games, Mitchell is averaging 22 points on 36% shooting and 26 from behind the 3-point line. And while his numbers are down on the year, those stats are worse than his averages for this season. But the easiest way to notice is to look at the losing skid that the Cavs had in the last 4 games following their win streak. In those 4 games, Mitchell put up 18 points on 29% from the field and a ridiculous 16% from the 3-point line, including one game where Mitchell shot 2 for 18 from the field and 0 for 8 from behind the arc in an 11-point loss to the Suns. And 2 of those games in that losing streak were against top 5 defenses in the entire league. But the other 2 teams are on the opposite end in terms of defensive abilities, which goes to show how much this Cleveland team relies on Donovan Mitchell to get his every game. In fact, the Cavaliers haven't won a game this season when Mitchell scores less than 10 points. While a team like the Rockets are 3-1 whenever Şengün doesn't score 10 points, or even teams at the bottom of their conference like the Timberwolves had a 29-point win while Edwards scored only 8 points. In fact, both of those teams are 5-2 whenever their leading scorer shoots worse than 30% from the field, which just goes to show once again that the Cavaliers need Mitchell to shoot consistently if they want to win. And this is going to play a major factor in the success of the Cavaliers this postseason. Last year, the Cavs got a Donovan Mitchell who was averaging 30 points, 5 boards, 5 assists on 48% from the field and 35% from the 3. But if they have any games where Mitchell struggles like he has in the regular season, then it's going to look impossible for them to win. In fact, Mitchell-led teams are 1-5 in games he shoots below 30% in the playoffs and 0-6 if he scores under 15 points. Which, if I'm the head coach for the Cavs, I'm drawing up plays to get Mitchell involved offensively and in a hurry. Anything that can get his confidence up and him putting the ball in the basket is going to be the only recipe for the Cavaliers to make a run in the playoffs. Now, I know you're probably thinking that it's common sense that a team's leading scorer essentially has to score if the team wants to win. But I hope you get my angle that other teams have had success when their star player was having a bad night. But the Cavaliers and really any Donovan Mitchell team relies so heavily on him to score in order to win games. So let me know if you liked the video and if you think Donovan Mitchell can give us a performance like he did last season in the playoffs, as well as how far you think the Cavaliers can go.